Okay, people, yes, it's people and places, and we're still at the African Tech Festival, day 3, the final day. And wow, this lady, we saw each other from afar and we just thought, can you not see how we look as if we woke up from the same bed? Ah, the Zulu hat, the t-shirt, and she's wearing Shweshwe, I'm wearing Ankara, showing you Nigeria, South Africa, and as you know, I'm your lady, Dr. Mama K. Let's just meet her and she will share who she is. So tell us who you are and your organization.
Hi, Mama Kay. Thank you so much for. It's an honor to be here at your platform. I'm happy that the vision is the same. My name is Mpumelelo Pinky. AWS certified cloud practitioner. I started my journey transitioning from beauty therapy. I have my own company called Cloud Boost now, all powered by AWS Skill Center, where they offer cloud computing. So I'm always there helping young people who are curious, want to learn, making them to feel welcome on their first day. We connect on LinkedIn. I have my WhatsApp that I manage where we share all tech events. One networking to be fun, guys. Come join us. Let's sip and cloud. We sip and cloud. We respect house rules. We obey everyone. We show kindness. We're all going through a lot, guys. Let's just be kind and be happy communities, happy cloud, happy explorers. Come join us, guys. Just subscribe. It's for free. We share free resources. We're not fighting any giant. We are helping you. Let's get the share market.
Awesome.
I'm building cloud AI tools as well. So you can join us and find out more.
So Pinky,
Yes.
I love your energy and how you were sharing,
Yes.
even people coming to join, building the brand.
Yeah.
What's your story? Because you were sharing that with me earlier on. How did you get into doing this?
So my story started as I was working at a pampering company with pampering the patients, beds in private hospitals here. So I became the manager in there. I started as the beauty therapist and I became a manager from there. I was also developing tools like WhatsApp catalogs, real-time diaries, and training others who are upcoming. And when you're helping a patient and then tomorrow they go to heaven clean and happy, it's fulfilling. So that's where my give back thing started. I do community volunteering. I do volunteer for marathons when they running, give them water, and then I wanna go and collaborate. We do swag as well. We swag your outfits, we show it up with it, and we like she admires God, but admire God whilst working hard. I'm pushing. I have so many kind of badges and certificates. Cloud content creator. I'm on TikTok, Mpumelelo Pinky Cloud. I am on YouTube recently. It's a hybrid
Wow,
podcast.
well done.
Yes,
We
thank
salute
you.
you, we honor you.
Thank
So
you
with
so
the
much.
festival itself, what have been your takeaways so far? What
So
some
I've-
of the activities or
Yeah.
sessions you've
I've
attended?
made quite a lot of connections, not from here only, people from other African countries and even beyond Africa. I've connected on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is growing.
Buzzing.
Yes, the information is a lot. I can't choose the best because there's quite a lot. There's Microsoft, there's Meta, there's Office, there's Africa Tech, there's Yali up there. So
Yes.
we all over this DK.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very informative. And there's center stage, there's fintech, there's lots. I've been here from day 1 to day 3.
Day 3.
So yeah.
Well done to you.
Thank you so much.
My final question.
Yes.
How important is it for Africa to embrace technology? How important do you think it is?
It's very important because if you don't upskill yourself, technology is growing at a rapid speed. So we need to build our own companies. And even if we're working, just also have something, some passive income. There are YouTube, we're in the cloud. We need to go viral global in a minute. So let's do that in real time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you
That's
so
growth.
much, Pinky.
Yes.
Now I want you to just give words of encouragement to anyone that you want to speak to.
What I would like to say, guys, I am from a village called Bergville in KZN and married to a Swatini. I'm so diverse. I talk almost all the South African languages. Just go with the flow, trust the process, trust God, and also just start with the starters. No shortcuts. Put on the work. I was attending back-to-back classes. Do it. I'm still upskilling, continuous learning. We don't stop. Thank you.
Wow, that was jam-packed so much. I can't even
Thank
repeat
you.
some of what she shared there.
Thank
Upskill
you.
yourself, trust God, keep learning so much more. But she shared her
Yeah.
details, support
Collaborate.
Pinky, and collaborate
Yes.
as well with others. So watch out for Pinky. Go check her out on her social media and all the platforms she shared with. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
some of these common mistakes that entrepreneurs make when trying to establish and maintain these relationships? And how can they avoid that?
I think there's a couple of things. I think first and foremost, and I think it's a common theme throughout this, is just appreciation, right? So showing appreciation for the person that you're connecting with, for that connection, for that network that you're establishing. See that person. You know, at the end of the day, you are talking to people, you are talking to human beings, and everybody wants to be seen, they want to be heard. I think that is one of the biggest pitfalls. You know, a lot of the time when I've met with someone, I've connected with someone, it's a quick thank you for the meeting. Just show your appreciation. That person needs it. They've given you that time. So give it back, right? Give back and find that equal opportunity. And I think it leads to the second point of mine is, I think a lot of people see, when they are connecting or networking, they see a short-term goal as opposed to a long-term value as such in the person. So instead of looking at what can I get out of this person or this connection or this network or whatever, it's long-term. Let's build this relationship together. And it's, as I say, it's giving back, but it's creating that balance in it too. I think the other pitfall and area that we may stumble on as well is, as I said, it's nurturing that relationship. But I think a lot of the time as well, and I think it's a less obvious one, is a lot of people, I think, naturally don't think they are networkers, natural networkers. I think a lot of people feel like, you know, well, I'm an introvert, I'm not an extrovert. Networking is not my strength. I can't connect well with people. Perhaps I don't have this brilliant story. Perhaps others won't see my vision. And I think it's a very big part of it, is actually just going out there. Something that I've learned myself in going into this and going into the journey of Tipton and being an entrepreneur. And I've had the privilege of standing up on stages to speak about my business and met many high-profile individuals that, I mean, they do public speaking for a living. This is what they do. But then I've got to know the person behind and got to know them off stage. And so many of them are introverts. So many of them don't like being up on the stage, but yet that's what they do. And I think just a belief in yourself that you can connect with anyone, because as I say, it's pretty simple at the end of the day. You're connecting with a human being, you know, who have got their own values, their own insecurities, their own worries, their own dreams, their own hopes. Connect with that, see that, and nurture that.
So speaking about connecting with the human being, right? Hassan, you talk about the importance of speaking up for success. Can you elaborate on how this principle has shaped your career and influenced your networking approach?
So there's this thing called imposter syndrome. Everybody has it. It's never going to run away. So deal with it. It's something that if you can deal with it early on, as a founder, hey, you got success written all over you. It will never run away, and that's not a bad thing. To what Kimlan mentioned, it's something that someone told me once. It said, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And once you do that, geez, man, it's like the world opens up. Because you'll start realizing that you get thrown in the deep end, but you can actually swim. Or once you drown, someone's going to blow you out. But you're going to learn, you go like, okay, that's not for me. Then that door's closed. What is for me? And the whole thing is about navigating to narrow your focus, to not be everywhere, but just to get somewhere, to get that stream, and you say, this is my lane. Okay. I know my thing, I do my thing, head down to the guy, what nose to the grindstone, and you just go. The success about, I like to call it OIM.
Yeah.
Success through opening your mouth. Because no one is going to punt you if you don't punt yourself. Be your biggest advocate. Because no one has a responsibility but you to yourself. So with that said, put yourself in those awkward scenarios and say, I can do this. But you have to believe it. And you have to understand who you are firstly. So I mentioned at the beginning, I'm a success enabler. I see myself as that. So wherever I'm going to find myself, I'm going to be that. Whatever my title says, that's my goal. What is your success? What does it mean to you? So how do we get there? How can I play a part in that? Because if you give people what they want, you're going to get what you want. And in a genuine way, not in a, I'm going to get it. that it's something that's bigger than you. If you see networking as bigger than you, you're never going to network like this. You're going to network like this. So to this aspect of opening your mouth, just some milestones. Recently, I was invited to be part of a delegation that went to East Africa, Kenya and Rwanda. And I met some amazing people, like high-end people, CEOs of insurance companies, government officials, and everybody's happy there to welcome us. I'm feeling like a fish out of water. But I owned my place because I had value to add. And that's what people were looking at. They weren't looking at the imposter syndrome. They looked at, this guy has something to add. And I added value. And I came back and we've published you can go on the website as well, on cover.co.za. It's a white paper, ebook, on our findings, the innovations that were happening there, and how solutions that we see that Kenya can benefit from, but as well as South Africa. And then maybe just very last, in my previous life, I worked within the entertainment sphere. So this is how my consulting bug actually bit me. And I networked with some of the most amazing people, to the point that clients of ours, because we were managing artists and producers, they got to work with the cream of the crop in the South African music industry, to having national hits on the radio, etc. But it all came from me putting myself out there, utilizing the platforms that were there. That time we didn't have X or LinkedIn. We had things like forums, old school. But it's about getting out there and also putting yourself out there, not just relying on, I'm going to Zoom with you, I'm going to meet with you, I want to have a coffee with you, I want to taste you, I want to know who you are. And you can taste me too, not in the explicit way. But people want to, they want to feel you, want to understand who you are. And COVID is, thank goodness, behind us. It's still somewhere in the works. But now we have the opportunity to actually meet people. So what you need to do, and I just want to caption it with this, is use this methodology of the 3 N's. I call it nature, nurture, and now. What's the nature of this engagement that we're going to have? So tell yourself that. Is it important and critical to what I want to achieve? That's a tick. So, okay, cool. Now we want to nurture. Do I want to nurture this? Can this move us forward? Yes, I do. Then I need to do this now. If it doesn't tick, if it ticks only one of those, then leave it. But if it ticks both, then you go. And it's not always going to be for you, but put yourself out there. Open your mouth.
Hello, people and places. Yes, we're still at the African Tech Festival taking place at the City ICC, Cape Town, South Africa. And we are at the Metal Store exhibition stand, where we're going to speak to a few of the people who benefited from the program. So tell us who you are and your organization and what your organization is about first.
Okay, my name is Odun Silvasio. I'm the head of monitoring, evaluation and research at Help Mom. So Help Mom is a social enterprise that is focused on promoting infant and maternal health. And we do this by using low-cost technology. Currently we have the WhatsApp chatbot that has 2 sides to it, the vaccination bot and the mama bot. So we provide, with the vaccine bot we provide vaccine-related information, and the mama bot we provide pregnancy-related information. All of this is free at no cost. So with Meta, what we've been able to benefit from them is the fact that most recently we developed the Vax Llama, where we curated some of our healthcare data sets and we fine-tuned that on Llama 3.1, which is a product of Llama, of Meta rather. So that has been really helpful to us, and we've gotten some engagement, and we've made this open source, made it accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world. So yes, so all we're all about is pushing for mothers, pushing for better healthcare systems across Nigeria and Africa at large.
And who started this and when? Why? Do you know the vision of the
Okay, so
founder?
this was started by Dr. Abiodun Adireni, the founder of Help Mom, and has been doing it for quite some time now, about 4 to 5 years now. So the vision was basically to improve the vaccination uptake in Nigeria and Africa. However, moving forward and growing in this area, we've seen that more needs to be done for the mothers, even beyond vaccination. We've seen nutrition come into play. We've seen pregnancy care come into play, and we're trying to also scale and bring the digital system into this as well.
Wow, awesome. So for you, this 3 days is the final day today. How has it been for you? How have people, reacted to your product and obviously your social enterprise?
Yeah, it's been very engaging, very enlightening. We've had some conversations, we've had investors, we've had visitors, we've had students. So many people, startup owners actually come engage with us, and they're super excited about the initiation of AI into some of our products. And everyone just has something to say. Everyone is saying, "Oh, bring it to South Africa! Come on, we can do this. We need it here as well." So we've had a lot of enlightening conversations, intelligent people, just saying, "Oh, we could add this as well. We could include this," just to ensure that the product is much accessible and easier for them to use, seamless. So yeah,
Awesome.
Great program.
So digital technology, there's still a big digital divide across most of Africa. How do you think we can address that? I know through what you're doing with Help Mom, you guys are already doing your bit in the health sector. What more do you think needs to be done? Because this is what all this is all about. And Africa has a young youth population,
Yes.
and which is it going to even grow more in the next 2050, So unlike other continents that people are getting older, but in Africa we have still lots of youth. What more needs to be done?
Okay, so I think basically with programs like this, one thing that I've seen that needs to be done is coming up with more platforms like this that would encourage partnerships. Now I've seen several products just within the space of AI alone. Not to talk of other spaces, the telecommunication space. So if there are more partnerships with different organizations coming together, bringing in their different solutions, this divide will be, bridged in the long run.
Thank you so much, Oluwaseun. We wish you all the very best. Is this your first time in Cape Town?
Yes, it's my first time. I'm so excited.
And what do you see so far? Although you've been here most of the time.
It's a beautiful
So it's a
place.
beautiful place.
Yes,
what are the beauty, or what are some of the things you've seen for you in South Africa?
Okay,
or
so
Cape
I
Town?
think the people, very engaging, very helpful. So you meet someone and they're like, "Oh, where are you headed? Oh, it's not that way, just go this way." And everyone I don't feel out of place. I feel like I'm still in my own country. I'm still among my people. So yeah,
Awesome.
amazing place.
And what are you mostly proud of as a Nigerian?
Okay, I think I'm proud of the fact that we're very united. I think that's one thing that makes Nigerians Nigerians. So regardless of tribe, tongue, everyone would always come together to speak a common language. I met Mama K and I'm like, so yeah, that's
Awesome.
That's one
Thank you. So where can we follow you, find out more about what you do?
right.
Or if people want to invest or find out, can you share the social media? But at the same time, I want you to give words of encouragement to anyone, out there.
Okay, so if you're out there and you're looking to start anything, you've been thinking of it, you've been waiting and saying, "No, I don't have this figured out." I think my word to you would be start. Just start. I've seen a lot of organizations here, startup owners, just taking that bold step. So take that bold step and I'm sure you won't regret it.
Social media handles?
Oh yeah, our social media handles. On LinkedIn, you find us on Help Mom Africa. That's LinkedIn. Then for Instagram, you find us at helpmom_ng. Helpmom_ng. And our website is www.helpmom.org.
Also, thank you, Oluwaseun. Well, you heard her. Just start. Don't, think about how, but the how and whatever will come, as you go. And to partnership and to work and to upskill yourself, because that's what they've done through Meta, to learn more so that way they're able to use technology positively in their organization. Well, as we say, Yoruba, oh yeah.
Okay, Odabo.
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 We'll be right back.
go. Take care.
Yes, people and places, we're still at the African Tech Festival 2024 at the City ICC, and we've got one of the delegates. He is originally Kenyan, but he goes from different countries in Africa. His name is David, but let's hear more from him. So David, tell us who you are and your organization.
My name is David Pino. I run a business called Genzi Cloud, and I've been running it for the last 4 years, based in a few countries: Australia, Kenya, Botswana. And
Oh, even Australia?
yeah,
Okay.
primarily Australia. And our main business is to set up cloud solutions and build servers. So we work with enterprise and also startups and businesses to help them with cloud and servers.
Right. Why did you decide on this area of business, especially tech? And what needs to be done more in Africa, beyond this exhibition? Because I know when we were speaking earlier, you said you are interested with young people. So what needs, why your interest in that area and what needs to be done?
I think it's the reason is that digital transformation can really be the thing that can turn around Africa and help us achieve the things that we can achieve when we do that right. Innovation is something that we have to basically look to try and get us ahead. And if you look at countries like Singapore, China, even they're really miles ahead when it comes to tech. But Africa is really not too badly off as well. So we have to find solutions to our problems, and I keep saying we need African solutions to African problems, and the way to do it is to have the young people who are very educated and very skilled to come along and do whatever they can around tech, not just tech, but other innovations too. So there's a whole bunch of other startups here doing amazing things, and it's good to be at such a conference and to see and then get encouraged that it's possible to build and empower ourselves and push forward.
Awesome. Well, I know you've got a lot to still check in. For you as a visitor, what has been the key takeaway from this festival?
It's just the amazing ability to network and get to learn what's happening around Africa, from the west to the east, from the north to the south, and there's amazing building of infrastructure happening, amazing people building amazing products, and if we can get to just network a little bit more, learn from each other and build together, I think we can achieve a lot.
Right.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much, David. Can't wait to hear more of your story. But what I want you to do in closing, if you could give words of encouragement to anyone, out there, young people especially, if you look directly in the camera.
Yeah, so I'd love to encourage young people, even if it's outside of technology, just seek out somebody that can support you and help you get to where you want to get to. I love supporting young people, and if you ever need to learn about cloud solutions, I'm always ready to support and answer questions, and I can give you some free advice, but also free resources, which are sometimes not easy to get by. So just reach out, Genzi Cloud online, and I think.
Can you share your social handles?
It's Genzi Cloud.
Okay, and that's MJENZI Cloud. I love what you said there about reach out, you can help and resolve. We are going to be on you. We are probably going to organize a WhatsApp session where you can help give what's of, just the basic, to encourage. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And asante sana, karibu. I'll just say bye-bye.
Kwaheri.
Kwaheri, that's it, kwaheri. yes, people and places, it's Dr. Mama K. We're still at the African Tech Festival 2024, taking place at the CTICC, Cape Town, South Africa. Wow, I get double today. Double trouble. No, they're not trouble. Now, let's hear their story and who they are. I've just met this beautiful lady today, but I reached out to her. She's already agreed to be my mentor in media and a lot of things. She doesn't know what she's got herself into here, but still, it's all good. So tell us who you are and what you do. Let's start with that.
Right now, I'm the managing editor of allafrica.com. I'm an editor and a journalist. I've worked in All Africa for more than 10 years. All Africa is a website that aggregates and produces its own content on the African continent, and it's done by African people. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I've worked in radio, TV, and print online.
So mostly things related to media, journalism, broadcasting. And you, ma'am?
I run a small business where I do writing, editing. I specialize in writing about leadership and human-centered generative AI, which is a very new thing. I added that in like about a month ago.
You're going to tell us what's that about? I know about AI, I just did a digital class, so what's that one?
To me, this is very, very important.
Okay.
Because AI is, we're worried about it, we're worried about it, you know, the singularity is going to take
the ethics,
all of those things. So my passion and my mission is to say to people, yes, you're scared, but get over it. Learn to use it as a human being. We need advocates for how AI can help human beings rather than hurting.
Awesome.
So I mean, part of that is writing, but part of that is just learning all the time. Juanita and I are both members of a generative AI learning circle.
Okay.
And my mission is just, let's make it work for us.
Now, let's go back to that relationship. How did you guys meet? And what's the connection?
So we met at when Independent Online, all that's here today, was launched here in Cape Town in South Africa. And Renee was my editor, and I was a sub-editor. So I was working under her, as people say, and she was my supervisor. And that was in 1999.
Yeah. So you spoke about writing about leadership, and that's one of the challenges in Africa as a whole, leadership. And then combining that in terms of technology and your experience with what you've experienced so far. I don't know whether you attend all the previous days, but what has been your experience so far with the Africa Tech, and leadership-wise, where do we go in Africa on leadership?
I mean, I think for me, there was this really good session I attended yesterday about leadership. And it had in it, I can't remember his name, but he was the CEO of Cassava Technologies, which is a huge company. And he was just so good because he was talking about all of this technology, this bubble that we're in at this conference is all very well, but what's out there in Africa is like youth unemployment, it's the many struggles that everybody on this continent has, and what we ought to be using things like this for is to make connections so that we can start thinking about those problems. And that was just, I don't know, I just thought he was amazing. That's what I take away from it, is make the connections so that we can actually get, I mean, change the subject, but if AI chatbots are going to take over call centers, then that is thousands of jobs in Cape Town alone right now. And so we need to be talking about
How can we turn that around? We need to talk about it. And I think as well, because we do a lot of work in the grassroots. So one of the things I'm finding out is, because there's still food insecurity, people haven't even eaten. So for them to think about tech and so on. However, we could be left behind if we don't start thinking about, how we can make sure that food insecurity use technology, because you're in business, you're running as well, an organization. It's through problems, then you find solutions. So there's a lot of opportunities. So for you, Winita, what has been your takeaway so far?
Weirdly enough, I went to a mindfulness session at the EQ Lounge. It was a meditation session, but it reminded me that we need to look after ourselves first before we look after anybody else. And being a person that runs around every single day, doing all of the things that a wife and a mother and a sort of editor does, exactly, switching between those things, especially when I remote work, because it's in my lounge, my little office is in my lounge. So just taking time and scheduling time, the advice that I got from, I think it was called Bare Mind Consulting or something like that. Yeah, it was just really, really useful for me, just as a reminder. I mean, also just seeing all the young people here. It is so inspiring that they are wanting to do things, and we have been told over and over we have this youth bulge, in Africa. But seeing so many people from the continent here, wanting to get involved, getting their hands in there, it's been so inspiring just to see them presenting. And there's such a big generational gap between sort of the bosses and the people who are working, but I see that's changing now. So, I mean, that's very inspiring.
I love that. And I, just what you said about the young people. When we got here this morning, I was going to exchange card and a brochure, and the young lady said, no. I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you how you get rid of that. And immediately she just do this, do that, which is what she's doing. And she said, now when you meet people, just give them the barcode. They can go straight to your Facebook page. And I used it just now. So in closing, I want you to just help give a word of encouragement to anyone that you feel like talking to, whether young people, women, entrepreneurs, anyone, or even investors, to appeal to them to invest more. Whoever you want to talk to. Maybe let me start with you.
Okay, so I have so many things to say, but I want to say to investors that women, founders, women who are working in this tech industry need your backing. They do not need your pity backing. They are women that are more than capable of running their businesses, and they just need investment. And you will get your return of investment. And for the women who are the founders, please keep it up, because you're opening the way for so many other women. I see you as an example, and thank you.
Right, thank you. Powerful. Yes.
I guess my message would be to my fellow older people. I'm probably one of the oldest
seniors.
Here. No, not seniors.
Oh, we're not seniors yet. I call myself senior. Okay.
No.
Older people. Older people.
Seniors is ageist.
Ah, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just want to say, keep learning, keep playing, keep coming to things like this, keep alive. Really.
Wow. Thank you, beautiful ladies. You heard them. Investors and those being, the startup founders as well, and older people. I'm changing my term from today. We are no longer all as seniors. We are older people. So keep learning. Lifelong learning. I keep telling you, I'm learning. I've got an exam, I've just remembered now, and I'm going to pass it. So I've been encouraged by what you said. I've got an exam next week. I haven't studied yet, but I'm going to ace it because you've encouraged me now that I almost gave up. I'm like, no, I'm not doing the exam. But now you've reminded me I need to keep learning. So I cannot learn and not do the exam. So thank you so much. Do you want to share your social media handle? Anything you want to share?
Website safehands.co.za.
All right, there we go.
Allafrica.com. Go to it. It's the best source of African news.
It is.
Well, you've heard it from our beautiful ladies. They're based in South Africa, and baya danki nkosi. What else do we say? To say we'll be leka. This is leka Cape Town. Yes. So we've been going to Kenya, we went to Nigeria, now we're in South Africa, which is home for me, as you know. But I talk too much. We'll be right back. Hello people and places, it's Dr. Mama K and we are still at the African Tech Festival 2024 happening at the CTICC, Cape Town, South Africa. And I've got another beneficiary of the META program, Isa Mohamed Ali, who is the founder of Tanzania AI Community. So Issa, tell us who you are first, before we even go to what you do. Who are you? Where were you born? Because I know you have some interesting background there.
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's great to be talking to you and talking to the great audience and about all of this. So my background is very much Pan-African. As much as I know I don't look African, my roots are very much here. Born in Botswana, moved to Tanzania. My parents are Kenyan, Tanzanian, but largely living in Tanzania now, as the organization name suggests. And what we're doing is building a community of practice for anyone who wants to know about artificial intelligence, to have the opportunity to learn the skills, to be able to build cool solutions and just be able to grow themselves in the space and hopefully build the overall ecosystem.
So why did you decide to do this? I don't know what your background is, apart from Botswana, Kenya, and now in South Africa. And of course, you said Hindu background as well. Why this technology? What's your background really?
Well, my background is technical.
Okay.
So I did a degree in computer sciences.
Right.
Why artificial?
Where did you study?
I studied at the University of Dar es Salaam. So
Okay, in
everything
Tanzania.
from
Everything
my
was in
primary, secondary,
Right.
university,
Okay.
locally studied,
Right.
locally brought up.
Right.
When it came to artificial intelligence, I did not choose it. It chose me.
It chose you.
I went to work for a company. I did an internship with them, and they were like, you know what? We want to get into AI. You figure it out. Is what they basically told me. And with that, I was like, okay, let's figure this out. And it just stuck. So I stayed in the AI space. I grew in the space, and that's what I ended up just doubling down into, because it was really cool. It was really interesting. The potential for impact, the potential for doing cool things was there. And well,
So when did you start?
the organization started in 2019.
Okay.
It started as a brand, as an identity. It wasn't really an organization.
Okay.
And since then, we've continued to grow, and eventually we realized the need that maybe this should be more than just a name. And that's when we registered it as a non-profit organization, to really make sure that any value that's created stays within the organization, that the people, the community, which stands close to 600 now, stays within. That we want the people to get value out of it and build resources and tools and technology that benefit the people and eventually benefit the country as a whole.
So how is the process, for you in terms of, I see here, piloting the education system, which there's a lot more needs to be done across Africa and using AI. How do people contact you, or tell us the process?
Good timing. This is the
Okay.
contact page.
All right. Okay.
So we're an open community. If you go to the website, we have a giant button that says join the community.
Okay.
So it's very open, it's very simple. What I would say is we are largely contextualized to Tanzania. So while we welcome everyone, that is something to keep in mind. And specifically, one of the best ways to work with us right now is we're building in the open source. And what's showing right now is Twiga, one of the products that we built and what brought us to the Meta booth here at the Africa Tech Festival. And it's a simple tool to support teachers in the education system. It's contextualized to the Tanzanian curriculum called NECTA, and it allows the teachers to be able to interact with the syllabus and the content over a very simple WhatsApp chatbot. And what this means is that if they're developing examination questions, for example, it's very easy for them to go into it, say, I want a question on this topic. I want to be able to have it as a short answer question, and they get what they need.
Right.
This is fully open source. What that means is the code, the background, the data is publicly available on our GitHub. You can go search for it. And we welcome anyone who wants to build with us and to build on the technology to join us. It's an open community. We have developers from Sweden, we have developers from Tanzania, we have others coming in from Kenya. There's interest building around this entire ecosystem, and we love working collaboratively.
Well, I've got an idea, because we do a lot of work as well in South Africa and Nigeria, and even if it's not us, we have other people in that space, and I can see the need and the benefits. So we'll probably try and connect more with you. How has the Meta program itself helped you? How have why did you decide to go on that program?
So we are specifically a beneficiary of the Meta Llama Impact Award.
Okay.
Some of the
What's
people
that
you'll talk
about?
to here will be part of the Llama Impact Grant.
Okay.
And the grant, and there is an open call for the grant. So if anyone watching wants to apply for the grant, we highly encourage them to do so.
Right.
Depending on when they're watching this, of course.
Yes.
But there is a lot of opportunity for this. We were building on Llama. So we were using Llama as one of the models and systems to build our product. So because of that, there was an opportunity to apply for this award and get a little bit of funding based on the work we were already doing with Llama. So we applied for it, and we were lucky to be one of the few in the continent to get the award. And that's largely what brought us here. But within the ecosystem, Meta is building these language models such as Llama, which are open source, which means it's open to anyone to build on top of them, to customize them, to host them on their own if they'd like to. It doesn't have to be the big fat language model. It can be very small focused model. And that's a big opportunity that exists for a lot of startups, youth to take advantage of.
Awesome. My final question, because I know a lot of people want to come to your store. What else do we need to do more to address the digital divide we have in communities, in areas and schools, in Africa as a whole? Because some areas there could be issue of data, there could be issue of infrastructure, electricity.
Yeah.
What more do we need to do to address the digital divide?
I would say the biggest thing we need to do is be more intentional. There is a wealth of resources and information and knowledge coming in. It's about the intentionality of how do we address these problems, because it's very easy for us to build a product, think whoever needs the product will get access to it. But that level of intentionality to look at, does everyone really have access to this? Being able to ask ourselves those questions to make sure we're not implicitly just assuming everyone does. And that level of intentionality is very powerful. The digital divide is a big challenge wherever we go. And the investment required to bridge that gap will be significant. But it's happening. People are being brought on. What are tools that we can use that reduce the barrier of entry? We build on WhatsApp because we think WhatsApp is more accessible. A lot of people already have the tools and the technology, and they know how to use it, most importantly. We don't need to teach them how to use a new technology, a new app, a new website. Of course, we've received a lot of questions. What about SMS and USSD? And that's next stages that we want to go to. Largely, there's been a cost issue, but what I'm getting to is let's focus on tools and technologies that are simple to use, that are easy to use, rather than building an app because everyone's building an app.
Wow, thank you so much, Shukran. Karibu, no, I'm getting it all wrong now.
That's okay.
But Cape Town, you said it's your first time. What do you think of Cape Town?
I think it's a good benchmark of aspiration for a lot of countries to move towards from a development point of view, from an experience point of view, because the amount of things you can do in Cape Town, the amount of activities going on, the variety of people you'll meet is very few places in Africa can you go and meet such a wide variety of people.
Thank you for shining the flag for Cape Town, our mother city. So I want you in closing to please just give word of encouragement to anyone who wants to speak to you.
Sure. So I think the biggest thing is there is a lot of opportunity. I'm sure with all the videos and interviews you've been doing, there's been a lot of variety of things, and all of these people are looking for more people to work with. They're looking for great talent, they're looking for investment, they're looking for companies to partner with. If you've started something, keep going. We know that at the beginning it can seem very bleak. for us as an organization, we started in 2019. We didn't get our first funding till 2023. That was about 4 years of grinding, of making it happen and making it work. So whatever you've started, keep going every day a little bit. Whether you're building your skill set, whether you're building your company, recognize the weaknesses and challenges and keep working on them a little bit every day. Even if it's an hour every day, it adds up. And when you look back, when we look back 5 years into the future onto where we started, that's when we'll really appreciate how far we've come.
Baya danki Nkosi, as we say here in South Africa. Thank you so much, Issa Mohammed Ali. Can't wait. Can you share your social media handle with us?
For sure, I would say look for the organization first, because the organization is bigger than I am. So look for the AI Community TZ or Tanzania AI Community on all socials, and I'm sure you'll find us just about everywhere. And if you're a techie, check us out on GitHub, see if it's something you want to get involved in.
Awesome. Thank you. You heard it. Keep building, keep going, be intentional. And a lot of things are said in there. Well, you need to rewind and rewind and rewind and go and see what they're about and be inspired. Well, we're bringing more. There's still more to come. We'll be right back.